of your skydive. Edmonton Skydive.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Tim, for your spirited response. I just want to talk to, first of all, I want to talk about what it is that we do at CSBA. What is our purpose? Our stated purpose is we're here to promote amateur skydiving. What is it that we do to promote skydiving in this country? We do a lot of things. The drop zones tend to do their own marketing, but CSBA does some of its own. What is good for skydiving, what is good for growing skydiving, should be our business. So the question is the tunnel good for skydiving? Are the presence of tunnels good for skydiving in Canada? I don't see how we can say any other way that it is. Why? Because it introduces more people to our sport. It introduces more people to flying, and as a result, gets more people out to the drop zone. We've seen the tunnels across North America, just around the world, are hugely popular. There's more and more people participating in it and around the world. As we saw from Rena's report, the revenue, the IPC, that's the International Parachuting Council, by the way, their biggest growth in revenue comes from the tunnels. So what we're seeing on a worldwide basis is that the tunnel is seen as a part of what we do, and it's becoming a more and more important part of what we do. So the question is, do we want to be part of that? Do we want that to be part of the sport in Canada? The truth is, that's not even what we're discussing, because it is a part of the sport in Canada. It's already a big part of the sport in Canada. The question is, do we want to be part of it as an organization? So it's important for us to remember that this is going to happen within our sport, whether or not we make it part of CSBA. It will still be part of skydiving in Canada because it's growing and there's no stopping it. As has been pointed out, the number of tunnels in Canada is growing. There's another one under construction in Ontario. There's 3 locations in the west. There's various levels of activity towards building tunnels, and I'm sure lots of Westerners roll their eyes. You always hear about tunnels, but until they break ground, nobody really wants to really say that it's happening, and that's fair enough. But I think that if we look at what's happening around North America in particular with tunnels, it would be ridiculous to assume that we're not going to have these tunnels in the West. And again, it's going to be part of the skydiving experience. If we look at the skydivers that we have today, how many of them use tunnels? That's right, it's in our long-term athlete development program. We use tunnels as part of the sport already. The IPC is given us the duty to come up with a national team for the World Championship. That's our role as the representative of the FAI in Canada. Why would we turn that down? That doesn't make any sense. The sport is moving in that direction, and we are the organization for the sport in this country. If we decline to take part in it, then we're simply making ourselves smaller within the realm of the sport. It makes no sense. Tim, you said that the tunnel flying is not part of skydiving because there are various parts to skydiving, and tunnel flying is only one part. You're correct. It's part of skydiving. It's one part of skydiving, and so therefore it is a component of skydiving, and that's why it belongs in our realm, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're flying in the wind, and we're the ones who know how to do that. And why we want to set up something apart because like I say, it's going to be there whether we're part of it or not. Why would we want that to be separate? Makes no sense. This is what we do. Why do we not want to grow? Why do we not want to grow our sport? We do want to grow our sport. Another complaint was that it's going to cost us more money. Well, if we grow, if we expand, it is going to cost money. But to suggest that there's no revenue input by bringing in new members I really find this very confusing. What the tunnel flyers or the tunnels are telling us is that they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are flying in the tunnels that are potential members. Their people are coming back, they're learning how to fly, they're forming teams. A lot of them are skydivers already, a lot of them become skydivers, but some aren't. And so those people we now bring in to our organization. As Melanie said, oh, we have human resource problems, we have volunteer problems. Melanie came up with 30 people in a couple of hours this morning. Are they all actually going to show up and help? I think we know the answer to that is no, but some of them will. To think that we're going to bring on these responsibilities and none of these new members are going to contribute to the organization makes no sense. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't a certain percentage of the new members want to be part of an organization and be contributors, just like a certain percentage of skydivers want to spend their Saturday in this room and be on the committee and do all the work? That's how these organizations work. Not everybody who skydives helps out, but enough of us do that, the organization keeps going. If we grow our organization, we can expect that our resources will grow as well, both financially and human resources. So I really find that your complaint that they were going to accept all this fiscal liability with no increased income, I just really don't understand where we get this idea that we're going to grow the organization and not have new revenue, not have new members, when clearly there are those new members to be had. I mean, clearly those children on in the after-school club, they aren't members now. They will be members. And when they grow up, not all of them, but some of them are going to be skydivers. It isn't two organizations. It isn't two activities. It's part of skydiving. Whether we want it or not, it's here. I think we should bring it into the organization, make it part of us, and move forward, because that's the direction the sport is going. And I think the fact that the FAI and the IPC recognize that should be our guidance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm looking for somebody who wishes to speak against the motion. I'm trying to do this as